Welcome to Out of the Blue B number 92.9. So, I want to do two in a row, 92.9 and 92.95. And I'm going to address something that somebody said recently. And basically what they said was I was telling them about Neo-Swedenborgianism, and they said, hey, what did they say? Whatever faith-based thing floats your boat, it's fine with me, is what they said. And I said, no, it's not faith-based, because blah, 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 blah. And they just kind of brushed me off dismissively. But in fact, this is now, this is based on comparative religion. So this is a way of stepping back and looking at these things in a secular manner. And comparative religion is a whole department at a number of secular colleges. So this is actually not faith-based. And that attitude that, it's all just a bunch of faith-based blah-de-blah is starting to seem sort of ignorant to me, because these people are ignorant. To be ignorant is to ignore, and they are essentially ignoring this major development that's happening right now, because it comes from a kind of semi-kooky. The early near-death studies kind of appeared kind of kooky to a lot of people, but it's not really like that anymore. Now it's a kind of an observable, predictable thing, and by observable, I want to also make clear what I'm talking about is observable. You can watch these videos by Howard Storm and Alona Nava. Howard Storm had a near-death experience. Alona Nava had a near-death experience. Fascinating. And now there's a new one, Dr. Lynda Cramer. I just discovered Dr. Lynda Cramer. And her book, this is something I've already spoken about a number of times, but and I'm not speaking, let me just clarify, as an experiencer of these near-death experiences. I am speaking as someone who's been reading them and thinking about them for a long time. And one of the things you can observe, one of the things that I've been talking about as an observable thing, is that these people come back. This is what you're observing. This person comes back. And they say, well, I was on the gurney for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes, but it seemed like I was there for years and years. Now, there's already a published book called Intramuros, Rebecca Springer, and that happens to her. She's on her sick bed, and she ends up moving to heaven for a few years, and then she comes back alive. Well, now I just discovered Dr. Lynda Cramer. She's saying the same thing. Her book is called 5 Years in Heaven. And she also has her medical records, and she was out dead, as they call it, for 15 minutes. But she experienced at least 5 years in heaven. So there's this discrepancy between how we keep time and the way these near-death experiences happen, where in the shortest of times for us, 5, 6, 20 minutes, you can have years and years there. That is why I call it eternal life limited, because so by the clock it takes so many minutes. It is limitless in length in this space that's outside of time, basically, as they enter. So eternal life might only be an illusion of our mind, because now we end up with this enigma that these people come back with these stories, and they say how real it all is. It's more real than this. It is the real world, and this is a shadow world. Well, when I'm saying that we're not speaking as believers, you could say that this is a trick that the mind plays, that the ego plays. But the thing is, it is a hyper-convincing trick. So the enigma is that it could be that it is less real. It could be that this is reality where we live right now, and that this heaven world that people are experiencing, it could be that it is at the same time both less real and something that viscerally feels more real, right? Just because it feels more real and it appears more real does not necessarily mean it is more real. It could be that, like an enigma, It is something that is less real. It is a creation of your subconscious mind. And it is in fact less real than this reality, but we experience it as more real. Okay, this is more of the, file this under bad news of Neo-Swedenborgianism. It could be that you have an aspect of your physiology, regardless of any belief in anything outside of our own physicality. You could have a mechanism within your physiology which creates for you a visceral eternal life. Visceral means you feel it with your body. It's hot, it's cold, you feel the breeze, you smell the flowers. So, sure, let's say it's not really real, but it is provable that it is really convincing.